All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, as you can see the title of this lesson, you better stop playing, Jake. And I just finished watching a video. I believe this was the stream that the elder apostle Ramlab did yesterday, which was titled, "Is Anybody Paying Attention?" And you know, getting right about the middle, getting to like the end of the stream, you know, the spirit, got on him, and he was going in. All right. And he mentioned, you better stop playing, Jake, because of and you could feel, the passion, because it is very frustrating, when you see all these things happening and you see these things coming. Imagine if you're a watchman upon the high tower, and you're literally seeing, all right, these, the wolves or the lions or the enemy getting closer and closer and closer, and you're sounding the alarm as hard as you can, yelling as best as you can, saying, "Yo, they're coming, they're coming," and people are just there pointing at you like, "What the hell is he doing?" Laughing at you, and then somebody says, "Oh, wait, I think he's ringing the alarm. I think something is about to happen," and then they all just start laughing, and then they just walk about their every day-to-day life like everything is good, and they know that that alarm is there so that when it gets sounded, you know that trouble is coming. But we're sounding the alarm as hard as we can, and people are just going about like everything is all sweet. And then you have other individuals that are telling them, no, don't pay attention to that. They're crazy. Don't listen to them. They're just bugging out. It's a false alarm. So it does get frustrating. All right. And I have a couple of precepts here, which, should explain to you why you should stop playing. Because as the things that are going on now as they keep on going on, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Especially dealing with that supply chain, the man-made supply chain shortage or breakage. Okay, they're coming out saying that there's not enough truckers and this, that, and the third, but it's all systematically designed. Okay, like a siege, because that's what it is, but more in a more modern sense. And people are still going about. They're going to the grocery store, seeing that there's stagflation, there's less products on shelves, and yet they're still there like everything is normal. They come back 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, it's still the same or even worse than it was before, but yet they act like everything is normal. You tell them, haven't you noticed that the shelves are empty in the stores? Oh yeah, but I mean, that happens, they restock it up anyway, because they're lulled away to sleep. Everybody's eyes are on this everything, the negatives of what's going on, that they're being blinded, as to what else is coming. This isn't the worst. This is just the beginning. So I'm going to start off here in the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." Because we don't need to tell each other what it means when they come out and they start advertising the grain of rice, if you know what I mean, the charagma, or when they start with the, the pump, the juice, the whatever you want to call it. We don't need to tell each other what does that mean. All right, because we know when they start bringing around that thing, when they start talking about digital IDs and digital currencies and central bank digital currencies and digital dollars, we know what that's leading to. We don't need to tell each other, yeah, the venom juice. We don't need to come and tell you, hey, do you know? And then go exactly to the. That's why sometimes we might do a video on an article pertaining to a particular prophecy, and we might just quote the scripture or paraphrase it without going directly to it. Sometimes we do, but it's because we already know. All right, we already know. So we don't need to come and tell each other this, but the Lord brought us out here to warn the rest, whether they will hear or forbear. And what they don't understand is when they forbear, they're not doing you're not doing us a disservice. All right, you're doing yourself a disservice, because when the famines come, cannibalism will come right with it. People will eat each other. People will eat their young ones. Mothers will eat their children. Fathers will eat their children. You know, people will eat other people. That will happen. Okay? Because that's what happens when there's no food and people go a long time without eating. They lose that sense of reason. You know, they get so angry and so hungry that they can't think rationally. You know, they start thinking like animals. And they're going to do that. All right? They're going to start telling themselves, well, meat is meat, right? What's the difference between human meat and animal meat? If you roast it and season it right, you can just act like it's all good. And then their brain will convince them that that's what they need to do to survive. And once they do it once or twice and they cross that line, it'll become a norm for them. And so you'll have people going around hunting for people, like in the movie The Road, where they had a basement full of naked people who they were eating because there was no food around. And instead of, you know, they didn't want to starve to death, so they decided to eat other people. You think that's a horrific sight. Okay, that's a horrific sight for somebody to eat human body, to burn human flesh. Okay, that's not something. All right. You know, that's not something that you just go around doing. But because of the desperation and the chaos and the dire situation that people are going to be in, they're going to resort to that. And that's why we're warning people, but they're walking around like everything is all sweet. They're playing around. But the Most High is the one orchestrating this, and he's going to have it happen full force, unleashed. There's a scripture that says there be spirits that are created for vengeance. So the Lord has certain spirits, certain apparitions, certain creatures that he has reserved for this time. That in this time, he is going to unleash them. And in their fury, they lay on sore strokes. Okay? So when we warn you, we're not just obsessed with this and we just want to come and scare you. It's because even our words alone will not do it justice because of how bad it's going to be. Trust me, if this wasn't as big a deal as it is, we wouldn't have to keep harping and harping and harping it. Because as a matter of fact, this has been harped since the prophets of old. That's how important it is. And now we're like this close to seeing it. You know, to experiencing it. And people are playing games. Verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And that's what we're telling you, that don't wait till it comes upon you, you know, to try to escape then, because you're not going to escape. So prepare ahead of time. Get right. You know, seek what's pleasing to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because we know, all right, we know what's pleasing to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. He has revealed that unto us. So we are to do that because that is going to be our way out of these calamities, you know, by pleasing the Lord and by his mercy. This is real quick, the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 4. It says, O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us. So now that we know what's pleasing to the Most High, we can do what's pleasing to the Most High, and he can have mercy on us, Lord willing. But if you're going around in your wicked ways after you've been warned to stop that, to repent, and you still go about doing that, what do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to be those examples. You're going to be the judgments. You're going to be the ones, the horrific judgments when the scriptures pronounce famine and chaos and death and destruction. You're going to be the ones to experience that. So as it says, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So it's going to come upon you suddenly. Now you see what's going on, but even still, people are looking for a way to live a normal life in it. Thinking that if I just keep going to work and coming back home and just, just, you know, watching TV and switching the news station whenever they talk about bad things happening in the world and watching funny YouTube clips, life would just be normal. You know, if I just shut it all out and say that these men are crazy, life would just be normal. But if the more they do that, the more sudden the destruction will be. All right? Because one day the lights will go out. One day the shit will stop. The world is just gonna stop one day. You know? And reality is it's like if you're running full speed, right? If you're running full speed chasing somebody, and you're chasing them, and they just make a sudden stop, and you're coming with such momentum that you can't stop, right? That force that you're gonna use to slam into them, that's what reality is coming with. Okay? These people keep running and running and running from reality. They keep running and running and running, and then they hit a dead end, and reality is just coming full speed. It's not stopping until it catches you. So you hit a dead end and you turn around and you just see a whole ton of reality just coming to you like a big ass truck just about to smash your ass in the face. That's what's going to happen to these people because they've been running away from it all their life. And now when they're forced because they can't run anywhere anymore, they got to turn around and face it. It's coming with momentum, you know, and they're going to get hit so bad they can't even recover from that. To even gather their thoughts and their bearings to know, damn, what the hell should I do? All right? Because the Lord is going to bring it. And the Lord knows what your weaknesses are, and he knows what hurts. The Lord knows what hurts the most, what hurts the least, who he wants to have mercy on. Okay? So the Lord can do some horrific things, man. You know, when you think villains, the super villains, and, you know, they're demented, and, you know, you watch movies like Saw Games, and you think it's sick and demented, and damn, this guy's doing some wild shit. That's nothing. That's the mind of a man, and they're doing stuff like that. You know, they're putting you in putting like your head in like a bear trap type whatever mechanism that way. You know, they put you in a chair and they put your hair in a wheel. And as the wheel keeps cranking, it's pulling your hair back and scalping you. You know? Or they got your legs in some mechanism and your arms in some mechanism, and they're just being twisted, and your legs are being twisted, and your bones are just twisting and breaking, and slowly too. And that's from a movie, and you thinking, damn, that shit is brutal. How the hell, how can somebody think of something like that? Well, that's what a man could think of. What do you think the Most High can think of? Contraptions. The water, brother, contraptions. You know? What do you think the Most High can think of? And everything he can think of that he has thought of in a brutal way, he's going to do it to you people. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 11. Now we know this is mainly applying to Esau. Okay. But the same situation is also going to come upon you wicked Israelites that don't want to take heed, and anybody else that doesn't want to take heed. Okay, this is Isaiah 47, verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Why? Because you weren't looking, you weren't paying attention. You were too busy worrying about the carnal things, worrying about how you can... See, people are already trying to look outside. They're trying to look at the end of this. And they think they can just take a big step over this and just end up at the end of it. Like you see the beginning of sorrows, but you're already planning what you're going to be doing after it without knowing whether you're going to make it out of it. So they're trying to skip over the reality, the painful part. Yo, can we just like skip this? I don't want to talk about this. That's the thing. Whenever you tell them, I don't want to talk about this. You know, is this all you talk about? Can we talk about something else? You stupid idiot. What do you mean can we talk about something else? Talking about something else is not going to deliver you from what's coming. You need to know about what's coming so you can know how to escape it. You have some people who they'll hear it and they'll, whoa, so what are we going to do? And then you have the whole rest of the bunch of idiots that hear it and then they just not, okay, that's it. You know, oh, okay, cool. So there's a bus coming to run your ass over, and instead of trying to find out how to get out of the way, you're sitting there talking about, okay. You know, oh, yeah, damn, that's crazy. Okay. Because they don't actually believe it. Because anybody in their right mind hearing these things are happening is going to be concerned about what they're going to do when it happens to them. But these people don't believe it's going to happen to them. So they don't worry about what they're going to do when it happens to them. So when you tell them and they say they want to talk about something else, or "Oh, here we go again," or that feeling, that's okay. But when you start going through it, "Oh, here we go again. Can we talk about something else?" That's not going to get you out of that. All right? You're not going to press pause on reality. You know, if there's no food, there's no food. So you're hungry. You're hungry. You can't say, "Can we stop talking about how hungry I am?" Because your body's still going to feel the way it's going to feel. When these troops come out here and they start mowing people down and doing as they will with people, you're not going to be able to say, let me go do something else. I want to take my mind off of this. Because everywhere you go, you're going to be seeing that and worse. Amos 5:19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. Okay? And then he fled from the bear and went to lean his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Okay? No escape, man. You're going to be forced to deal with reality, man. And we can't wait till the Lord does that to this world. It's so annoying. It's so annoying to see these stupid, idiotic, just wickedness in pride. You know, in pride. And they think, I mean, why do you think the Most High flooded the world during the time of Noah? Why do you think he flooded the whole planet? Because of wickedness. Why do you think he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah? Because of wickedness. Did he not say that I'm destroying as an example for anybody that's going to live like this afterwards? Yes, he did. And then Jake, not just Jake, the world is doing the same thing right now. Same flood behavior, same sodomitish behavior. But for some reason, they think that this time it's just going to go unchecked. So Isaiah 47:11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. And that's when they're going to be running to and fro, Amos 8:11. They're going to be running to and fro, seeking the word of the Lord, seeking a way out of this. You know, oh my gosh, what do we do? Yo, by the way, this just happened, this, that, and the third. But because they thought it was a far off, but then they started to realize that no, this is not a far off. This is happening right now. Okay, it's happening right now. And boy, oh boy, it hits. When it hits, and there's no going back, and the reality is it, man. And people will be afraid. And personally, man, it's just the pride on their faces, man. We fear the Lord because we know that when this thing goes down, it's not going to be in our power. It's not going to be of our strength. We're going to need to rely upon the Lord to deliver us. And we're trying to do the right thing, but we fear the Lord. And these people go around so proud. You tell them it's going to get so bad, you're going to need a man of the Lord. I'm not going to need any man. I'm fine. I'm going to be good. You don't know. How do you know you're going to be good? You know? Because if we were in public and all of a sudden a couple shots would let off, you would be screaming, trying to grab onto the next man next to you, right? So where do you get off with the proud attitude? I'm gonna be fine. I'm just gonna be good. Okay, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I'm just gonna be good. No, you're not gonna be good. You're gonna be bad. You're gonna be so bad and afraid. You're gonna be crying and begging for some way out of it. And then when you think that your last resort is tears, right? So when you start shedding those tears, people are just going to feel bad for you. You got another thing coming. People are not going to feel bad for you in that time. You know? People are not, because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be upon people, and a lot of that spirit is going to be a spirit of vengeance. Okay, so all the game playing is not going to do you any good. All right? All the game playing is not going to do you any good. It's going to do you bad, if anything. All right, because you spent your time worrying about the things of this world, worrying about your fleshly desires, worrying about what's pleasing to you, forgetting about what the Most High's will is, right? So now you need to think, well, whatever you're doing right now, when there's a food shortage, are you going to be able to eat? You could be the richest person in the world. There ain't no food to buy. Your money's worthless. You don't see it in these movies when they end up burning money for heat. All right, and wintertime is coming, and they're already talking about blackouts, you know, about what's going on in the UK, but now they're saying the US, all right, is potentially going to be facing these kinds of things. So you think when you walk around with a vain mindset, is that going to feed you? Is that going to protect you? Is that going to keep you safe? All right. Can you fight a bear? Can you fight a lion? I don't think so. So when shit like that comes upon you and you don't know what to do, then what? The Most High is not gonna see. That when we say the doors of mercy are closed, people need to understand what that means. It doesn't mean if I cry hard enough, maybe then I'll be able to slip through. No, it means they're closed, and anybody on the other side of it is stuck there to suffer the judgments that are coming. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And why are people going to be mourning? Because of so much death. But it's going to get so bad that some are not going to get to mourn. Like in the movie Bushwick, in the beginning scene, where the girl is walking with her man, and he goes up to check out. They're trying to come out the train station from the subway, and he goes up to check and gets his face blown off, and his dead body rolls down the stairs. You know, and as she's trying to cry and understand what's going on, she got to run. And in a matter of minutes, she done already forgot about him because it's so chaotic. Gunshots everywhere, people shooting, dudes trying to rape her. She forgot about him because she's trying to survive herself. She didn't even have time to mourn and process what was going on. So it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, because a lot of people are not going to get access to food and they're going to starve to death. Okay? They're going to starve to death. It says the beginning of war. And if the starvation doesn't kill them, then some disease is going to kill them from their weakened immune system from not eating for so long. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. And yes, these nations will go to war. All right. And ultimately, they will declare war on each other. And those nuclear weapons and the arsenals and the hypersonic missiles and the ICBMs, they're going to come into play. And they're going to shoot them off, and they're going to burn lands, cities, buildings, men, women, children. They're going to burn. That's why people are going to be in fear. Earthquakes, tsunamis, natural disasters, unusual weather, violence everywhere, chariots flying in the skies. It's going to be so much happening. So really what this is the calm before the storm. And you got this creepy demon Biden coming out talking about we're almost there. We just have to finish the job. Finish the job? Shit. Let's see what happened. The scripture said when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall strike him through. So it says here, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, which is a bad time. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So what are we seeing? We're seeing the beginning of evils. Now, when you lay siege to a city, right? The next day, the city doesn't fall. It doesn't fall the next day. A siege is a slow, painful process. Now, the point of a siege is you cut off the constant supply coming in. And then you wait till whatever already got in there gets finished. Then the chaos starts to ensue. Okay? Now, what they did was they reduced the amount of supply and resources that the cities can hold at once. So they what do they call it? They ordered per, you know, like if it was low, then they order more. They wouldn't have reserves. Okay. So now that they've cut off the supply and they say your supermarket is worth only what, about 3 days worth of food in there. And in any small instance of chaos or panic buying, everything is gone just like that. And there's nothing else to come in and refill it. What do you think is going to happen? That's when it's going to get chaotic. People are going to start getting radical ideas. You know, like, yo, like, what do we do now? You know, like the hunger is going to still be there. You know, the anger is still going to be there. The craziness is still going to be there. So what do we do now? Desperate times call for desperate measures. There's a reason that they have that saying. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So these things are for you to look at and go through and amend, meaning change your ways. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness. That's why they're going to perish in their wickedness. Nor be always mindful of the scourges. See, they're not mindful until they start getting whipped with it. You know, until they start getting scourged and they feel that heat, okay, burning their ass. Then they're gonna be mindful. They're gonna consider it perfectly. But it's gonna be too late because the doors of mercy are gonna be closed. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. But as the scriptures say, a sword is sharpened. Okay, evil has come and only evil has come. What are you going to do in those days? It says here, even then shall evils grow upon earth. So what's happening right now? Evils are growing. Sword. All right, the tension building up. When you read in 2nd Ezra 15 and it says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, why do you think this devil Biden's polls are so low that less than half of Americans think that he's honest? People don't respect this guy. They don't regard this guy. They're looking at Fauci like, bro, if they could, they put their hands around his neck and do some squeezing. Okay? So they've lost respect for the authorities, the kings and princes. So they're not going to listen to the kings and princes. They're going to start doing whatever the hell they want to do. Now, what happens when they start doing what they want to do? That's when they send in the troops to come and quote unquote instill authority. Now, I saw a video yesterday on this group. They said they're anti-Vs, right? And they went and they destroyed this V site. You have the tent and everything. They went and just kicked it, took the chairs, threw all that shit somewhere. And it's interesting how the DHS was warning about these things because they called them terrorists. They said they were basically on the same level as Al-Qaeda terrorists, which are anti-Vs, people that are against lockdowns and Vs and stuff like that, right? And then they said that they're warning that in the near future, there's going to be a rise of anti-Vs becoming radical and destroying V sites. So now all of a sudden, a month or two later, now they're going about doing it. Wow, what a coincidence. So now they can say, oh, look, we told you so. Now we have to take measures to stop them. But they'll wait and they'll let it get a little bit more drastic because that is the justification. The order they want to instill is a very draconian, brutal style order. Martial law means warlike law. So they're not going to declare martial law in the time of peace. They need to create war on the soils of America so they can bring warlike law. Because if it's violent and people are already getting killed and things are violent and fires and shit like that already in the streets, guns and all of that, then they're only justified to bring a means of that level or greater to come and try and intervene. So it says here, continuing in 2nd Ezra 16 and 21, shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Because a lot of people are not going to know what to do. They're not going to know what's going on, and they're not going to know how to escape out of it. Because they were too busy playing games. When we were warning them, telling them that you need to make decisions now. You need to look ahead now. So when it comes, you can be hidden from it. Okay? But no, they didn't do that. They were playing games. So when it hits them, they're going to be confused. What the hell just hit me? You know, what's going on? What do I do? And we're not going to be there to comfort you. We're not going to be there to give you words of encouragement. We're going to tell you that regardless of whether you believe it now, the truth is the truth. And now you're about to feel that. You're about to feel that heat. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth, so not just America, but the whole earth, shall perish of famine, meaning they're going to die of famine, lack of food. They're not going to get access to food, and they're going to die because of that. It says here, and you know who's going to be causing it? The Most High. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to be causing it. It says, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So for those that are able to get something to eat, whether they got to sell out for it or take the grain of rice or take the jabby juicy juice or whatever, guess what? The sword is going to destroy them. You just might get your ass shot, you know, get caught in a crossfire or something, you know, or get stabbed to death or whatever the case is. Somebody might just come and stab you up and just run away. No reason. They didn't want to steal anything from you. They just and then run because the Lord might put a death angel on them to just come and do that. Verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. You know, when you go to when somebody dies, right? You have those that are closest to them that are crying, they're mourning, they're in a state pain, and you have those that are dear to them that comfort them, that hug them, that kiss them, that tell them it's okay, it's gonna be all right, that rub them, you know, and come and give their quote unquote condolences. Well, guess what? In this time, nobody's gonna be there to do that for you. Oh my gosh, my mom just died. My dad just died. You know, you think somebody's gonna come and ask you why are you crying? You know, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? Why are you crying? No, they're gonna be out for themselves. You know, they're gonna be out looking for a way for themselves, and then you're gonna be trying. Please, can somebody help me? Please, my boyfriend just got shot and he's bleeding out. Can somebody help me? They're not gonna help you. You know, you're just gonna be there kneeling down next to him, trying to press down on the wound so he doesn't bleed out, and you're gonna be crying, screaming for help. Doesn't anybody hear me? Aren't you people, you know, can't you guys, you know, and people just running, going their own way, driving by, doing their own thing, you know, killing one another. All right? Because that's how bad it's gonna be. And when he dies, you think somebody's gonna come and pick him up and clean up his body and then put him in a nice casket so you can bury him 6 feet under? No. It says here, and so that's why in certain areas you're gonna have foul stench, a foul smell, because you're gonna have rotten bodies, okay, rotting corpses. All right, yep, the love of many shall wax cold. They're not going to care. They're not gonna give a damn what happens to you. And you know what? You're gonna have situations where you're gonna think you trust this individual so much, and right when you get there, they're gonna either sell you out, run, leave your ass behind, or some shit. You know, I saw a while back. I saw it was like a video of a prank where this man and his girl were walking down in a stairwell, and they had this I think it was a group of people, group of clowns or something, and they were coming up to them with like fake knives and the fake big ass melon cracker or whatever they call that, and things you swing around and shit. And they started walking up to them, and the dude peeped. You know, he turned around, he tapped his girl, and the second he saw it, he booked it. You know, full speed ahead. And then he stopped, and then he turned around, and he came in, and he grabbed his woman, put her on his shoulder, and then he ran with her because she couldn't run fast enough, right? Now, of course, it was a prank, but I was looking at it, and I was like, that's funny, because how many people in real life do you think that's gonna happen for? You think when somebody actually sees some real scary ass shit coming their way, that they're gonna stop to think twice to run back and come and pick up their woman before they run? No, no, no. They're not gonna. They don't have a woman at that point. At that point, it's just them and the track, and they're running. That's what they're doing. And then when they get far enough, then it's gonna hit the oh shit, you know. But then they're gonna be too afraid to go back. They're gonna be crippled or paralyzed with fear. People are gonna be in a selfish mindset, not a selfless mindset. Because what means does he have? And then she's there trying to run, telling him, wait, where you going? Don't leave me. He's gone. Right? And then it's hitting her as she's running and crying, and the group of men are chasing her, about to catch up to her. Yo, we were together for like 10 years, and he just left me? He just left you. He just left you. Now what? And let's say she manages to escape them, and she's out, and she's starting to see like what the hell is going on with the world. You know, somebody's in the street, please help, and then a car just comes full speed, just freaking runs they ass over, you know, and then another car just crashes into that car, and then it sparks a fire and it explodes, and then the skies are orange because there's fires everywhere, and then you hearing gunshots left and right, and in the far distance you hearing troops shooting people, letting out rounds. And now and now all of this is dawning on you at once, like, oh shoot, now what do you do? And then the person that you thought you guys were gonna be together, he's gone somewhere. Now you by yourself and you vulnerable. See, then, oh God, oh Jesus, oh Lord, please. No, 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 no. Remember, there's no mercy. So verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. It's going to look like a hellhole here, and they're going to block off all exits. They're going to keep your ass in here. You ain't going to cross the border to Canada. You ain't going to go over there to Mexico either. You ain't going to cross and go down south. You're going to be stuck wherever you at. As a matter of fact, you're going to be stuck in the city you in. And you're going to desire to leave because it's dangerous and scary, but you're not going to get any refuge. The standard that's going to be lifted is going to be on behalf of the Lord's elect. Okay, whether it's spiritual power or an angel coming down or a chariot beaming you somewhere or you, whatever it is. But it's going to be so that Isaiah 65:13 can be fulfilled, where the Lord said, his servant shall eat, his servant shall drink, his servant shall sing for joy of heart. And the rest are going to thirst and hunger and mourn and weep for sorrow of heart and for vexation. Okay, they're going to groan. It says, verse 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it, because of how chaotic it's going to be. You're not going to recognize New York, you know. That's right, just like that show Containment. You're not going to recognize New York. You're not going to recognize certain areas because it's just going to be mangled, bad, horrible. No garbage trucks to pick up any garbage, no nothing. And eventually, after some time, the trees are going to start growing in the cities. You know, growing on the side of buildings, you know, growing through the concrete, breaking through and all of that. And it's going to be like a scene straight out of a scary movie. And then people are going to start to realize, wow, this is why they kept talking about it. This is why they never shut up about it. This is why they got so angry when people didn't listen. This is why they spoke so passionately. It wasn't because they were just crazy, but they were seeing this before we saw it. They were already here, and they were warning us about it, but we didn't take heed. And people are going to think that they still have a chance. Let me go find them. Maybe they might still be out there. Maybe there might still be a chance for me. But when the doors of mercy are shut, there is no chance for you. That's why in 2nd Ezra, I think the 5th chapter, it says, men shall hope, but none obtain. Okay? They're not going to obtain. Yep, and like the brother put, then shall it be known. That's Ezekiel 33:33. They're going to know that we were prophets. And they're gonna, man, it's all gonna make sense. It's like when you watch a movie when there's a serial killer who's disguised as a janitor or something, and he comes into somebody's life and he's there and he's, she's like, yo, I seen this guy. He looks familiar before. Maybe she might be at a coffee shop or a bar or somewhere, and then he just pulls up, can I buy you a drink, da-da-da, and they're talking and shit. And she's looking at him like, have I seen you somewhere before? He's like, no, I just moved in. I'm new to this area, da-da-da. He's getting close to her, and then she remembers, well, she doesn't remember, but the show tells you that he was the janitor at the school that walked in and made eye contact with her, but she ain't noticed. So now she gets close, and then he finally catches her in a place where he can take advantage of her, and then it all makes sense. He starts the evil laugh. He takes off the hat, takes off the trench coat, and then she's like, oh, he was the janitor. He was the Uber driver. He was the substitute teacher. He was my next door neighbor. He was this guy. He was the bartender. He was the guy who pulled up to me at the oh, that was him. Oh, shit. He was a serial killer. See that face that they have when they finally realize, because it makes sense. Oh, that's how they're going to look when all these things start hitting. Oh, that's what they were talking about. Now I see what they meant. Now I see why they were stressing so much. Now I see why they said that gathering food and guns and all this wouldn't save us. They're gonna get hit with that reaction. Then it's gonna be known to them, oh shoot, damn, I'm in some deep shit. Because you just never know until you're in it. And that's what's gonna happen to these people. They're not gonna know until they're in it. Then they're gonna realize just how much shit you're in. Because in their head, it's always fine in your head. It's always fine in your head. Because in your head, you can make anything up. In your head, right, when you imagine something, you don't feel the pain. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't physically feel the cut. In the wintertime, when you're imagining, damn, the wintertime, you're not physically feeling the cold. And your lungs hurting from the cold air coming in. And your stomach growling because you're hungry. And your feet not being able to move because you've been walking for so long. and the fingers damn near catching frostbite. And when you're imagining with wintertime, you're not feeling all of that. So when you're actually in it, it's a different feel. You're like, damn, this shit is harder than I imagined. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Now, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. All right, verse 53. All right, now we know that pursuant to this, which I'm about to read, it was really talking about 70 AD during the siege. All right, but guess what? In this time, it's also gonna similar things. All right, are gonna be applying to now to these people, because what you're gonna have is another siege, which you see happening right now. And whenever there's no food, it's the same equation, different numbers. Addition is addition. You put one number, you put another number, you put an addition operator in the middle, those two are going to be combined. It doesn't matter what two numbers they are. So you take away food, you create chaos, you're going to have cannibalism. Okay? At some point. Now, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 53. It says, thou shalt... You know what? Maybe I'll start at verse 52. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedst throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. And that's what they did when they came and besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD. But now, guess what? They're doing it again. People think that they're safe within their four corners of their house. They're safe with their job that's giving them whatever is giving them. They're safe because they went and took it, and now they can still get a paycheck at the end of the week. You're not safe. Because at the end of the day, what they want is not really what they're telling you they want. That's just step one. That's a part of the phase. There's a bigger mastermind, sinister plot behind it. It's not as easy as take this and we'll leave you alone. That's not what it is. They're never going to leave you alone. All right? They're going to starve you to death. They're going to decrease the population. These are things you should think about. Wait, didn't Bill Gates come out and say that if we do a good enough job with these, right? With these, we can reduce the population by what, 10 to 15%? And then the dumbasses in the audience, yes, reduce the population. Did you forget that you're a part of the population? You know? So you think about these things and you say, wait, a good enough job. What does he mean if we do a good enough job? Aren't the V's supposed to save lives? So how would doing a good job with this reduce the population? Then you think, okay, well, what does doing a good enough job looks like? And then Biden comes out and says, go and do what's right, and we're almost done. We just have to finish the job. And then you say, oh, shit, hold on 1 second. He said he wants to use this to decrease the population, not to increase or to save lives. Decrease means to kill. So he was also at the forefront of this. Bill Gates. So hold on. I gotta think back a bit. Wait, whoa, hold on 1 second. Wait. I gotta think about this. You know, but people don't put two and two together. You know? Oh, nah, that was years ago. You guys are bugging. Nah, you ain't gonna do that. Okay. All right. Verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. Oh, Slakia, verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body. What is the fruit of your body? Your children. The flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, that is called cannibalism, which the Lord thy power hath given thee in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. So when they cut off your water and your food and the lights go out, the lights will go out because the lights will go out. And when the lights go out, people are going to bug the hell out. They're going to at first think, oh, okay, social media. A social media platform, you go in there and you just type and read and shit and all of that, went down for a couple of hours and people were already not knowing what to do. What do you think happens when the lights go out? Do you know people are going to realize how much they depend on electricity when it's not there anymore? No water, no heater, no AC, no refrigerators, no TVs, no internet, no phone, no GPS. Okay? None of all of this, man. Because pretty much everything is electronic. The factories that make the food, that manufacture, that put things together, done, shut down. Like when they show an EMP attack, you see the grid, dark. Then the whole thing is just dark, quiet. And then you're going to hear them screams. You know, like how the Egyptians were screaming when the death angel was coming there. All right. And then after a day or 2 days, people are gonna be like, yo, this shit is getting crazy out here. But what are you gonna do? Then you're gonna see survival of the fittest, every man for themselves. You better learn to fight for yourself. You know? And that's when you still got my back. I remember you were saying that, you know, you'll protect me. You know, if any of these things came, you said you still gonna do that, right? You know, but wait, when I was telling you that, you were like, yeah, you know, whatever. But now, but you said, but remember, you said that you told me that, you know, everything is gonna be okay. Oh no, now you wanna, okay, you know, look, it's gonna be just like that, man. It's gonna be just like that. It's gonna be just like that. People talk, they talk out their ass because they're comfortable, but when reality hits them, trust me, the realness is gonna kick in. It doesn't matter how proud the chick is now, she will humble the hell down so fast, you will be shocked to look at it. All right. So cannibalism, as it says, with the siege wherewith thine enemy shall thee. Okay. And that's what they're doing now. And they're telling you it's going to get worse. Verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. Verse 55, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat. So how desperate do you have to be to eat your own child? Your own child. Because he hath nothing left him in the siege, because there's nothing left to eat. You're so hungry, your lips are dry, your eyes are red because you haven't slept, you're hungry. Man, you gonna see some scary sights, man. It says, and the straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. And when these things start happening, don't be surprised. When you see the way people start reacting, don't be surprised. All right, when you finally see the troops, when martial law finally is in effect, and you finally see the troops, and they're coming and shooting and coming down in helicopters and army tanks and, you know, big ass guns mounted, and they're actually shooting people and killing them, don't be surprised, because we warned you. And it's very close. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 13. Slakia, verse 3. For thus saith the Lord concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land, they shall die of grievous deaths. So if I die, I die? No, it's not that simple. You're not just going to be let off the hook if I die, I die. Like an old person that has reached their time and they just pass away in their sleep. It's peaceful. No. Grievous deaths. Okay? They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, because nobody is going to have time for that. Right? But they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. Just like you may be walking and you may see like a pile of dog shit somewhere. Somebody didn't pick it up and it's just there, and you're trying to avoid it and it smells bad and you're like, oh, it's disgusting. That's how dead bodies are gonna be, man. You know, you walk in, you're like, what the hell is going, you know, you find some area, you smelling some shit, you're like, what? And you cut the corner and you just see a stack of just dead bodies, house flies all over it, you know. Oh man. It says, oh, you may see somebody getting devoured by a wild animal. You know, a lion or a wild mountain lion, a big cat, just got somebody by the jugular. And it's just running with them. And the person's still alive being dragged on the floor. Please help. Shit. It says here, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword. So people are going to be getting killed by literal swords, knives, daggers, but also by guns, by bullets, by drones. It says, and by famine, people are going to be starving to death, not having anything to eat, their stomach hurting, their body eating itself, fighting over food, loved ones turning on each other. It says, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. For thus saith the Lord, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go lament nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from this people. And the Lord said he's taking away his peace. So what is going to be there in return? Chaos, destruction, distress upon men, anguish, sorrow, tribulation. It says, saith the Lord, even loving kindness and mercies. These are the Lord's words. He said, I have taken my peace away. I've taken that away. You're on your own now. All right. Verse 6, both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men drink, neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. Nobody's going to come and console you, make you feel better. You're going to be there by yourself. And man, oh man, when people start to, especially these people that believe in false gods and all these other things, and they think they got the truth, when you're in a situation and you're praying, crying, begging that the Most High intervenes and he does something, and nothing happens, you don't hear a word, and this person comes in there and pow, pow, kills your parents, kills your family, whatever the case may be, and you just hiding. Maybe you just narrowly managed to escape, and you finally come out after they're gone, and you see the dead bodies and all of that, and your loved ones hurt and taken away or whatever, and you couldn't do anything. And the God that you thought was real, that you prayed to, nothing happened, and he just didn't hear you. And you may think, all right, well, you know what, and then it just gets worse. You think you're praying, you're crying, you're hoping something good will come, and it's just bad. It's just evil. It's just wickedness. And you're like, why isn't the Lord answering your prayers? Why isn't your God listening to you? Why? You're calling on him, you're crying, you're begging, and nothing is happening. And eventually, a lot of people are going to just start, I don't believe in God anymore, But then they're going to realize, if they have any sense in their mind, that whoever you were calling on, that's not the name of the Most High. All right? That is not the true power. That's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if the Lord has mercy on you, he'll put you through that. And then he'll have you come across certain individuals. And then you'll see that some evil comes and you think you've given up hope. And then they pray and then everything is good. They call upon the name of the Lord and then divine intervention happens. Somebody gets hurt and then they pray and they can heal the person right in front of your eyes. But the difference is they're calling on a different name. And you're sitting there like, what the hell is going on? I tried. You're like, I already tried praying. That, you know what I'm saying? Nothing happened. And then they pray and then boom, food just manifests on the table. They turn stone to bread. They teleport and they're flying. Danger comes and they can fight it off. They can tame wild animals and talk to them. Command animals, go here, do this, that, and the third. You can't possibly expect a tiger or a monkey to listen. And then next thing you know, they're coming back doing exactly what you said. They're going to start to have no option but to accept that there's only one true living God. Because you know what? It doesn't matter how stubborn somebody is up here. When you see something, you can't unsee it. When you see spiritual power, when you see men of the Lord glowing and praying and their prayers being answered, and that they're safe, they're protected, and miracles are happening right in front of your eyes, okay? And the food that they just prayed for that just manifested out of nowhere, you can actually taste it. All right, you know what? You're going to have to acknowledge that you were wrong. That you believed in a false God. Just like during the time of Elijah, okay? When the people were believing in Baal, and the prophets of Baal came there, and guess what? When it came time to call on their God for the sacrifice, he was nowhere to be found. But when Elijah called upon the Most High and the fire came down, Israel had no other choice but to acknowledge that is the God. Because fire just came down and he called upon the Lord and fire came down. There's a God over there. That is the one true God. And when Jacob's trouble hits, that's when the world is going to realize that your idols are just idols. They don't work. They don't exist. If it's not Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, it ain't going to work. All right? And when the elect call upon Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, things will happen. And people will notice, yep, that's Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. They're going to realize that, oh, wow, this was never about us. You know, we didn't know the ways of righteousness. All right. It was the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That God they're calling on, that them Israelites are calling on, guess what? That is the true God. When they said all these things were going to happen, it's happening. And they're fine. They're good through it all. And if the Lord has mercy on you, he'll allow you that chance to repent, you know, and to call upon that name and to be delivered, or to stick by that individual and be good. But if he doesn't have mercy on you, he might not even show you that side, or he might show you that side and then you still get destroyed. You know, you still starve to death. Because now he showed you that, look, I'm the true God, but I'm still not going to help you. So it's a scary thing, man. So as the title says, you better stop playing, Jake. Because when the Most High opens up and and his anger gets unleashed, it's built up right now. And when he finally unleashes it, until he is satisfied, there's going to be no... That's why he has already set preordained, so his anger won't be hindered. He has already preordained who is going to have mercy. Don't touch them. But everybody else, that's fair game. So I don't want to hear shit. You know, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care how much they cry. If they're not a part of this list, they're not in the book of life, they're fair game. And that's going to be the end-all be-all for a lot of these people. So I'm going to actually end it off with this precept here. This is a song from the brother Psalms, or the name of the brother's handle is Psalm 17 and 15. But the scripture is 2nd Esdras 9 and 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay, so the multitude, that means a lot of people are going to die. Why? Because they were born in vain. Your life is vain to the Lord. You don't have... Your purpose was just to be destroyed. Like the extras on a cast. Yeah, the extras on set. You know? But the grape, which in this verse is talking about the Lord's elect, it says what? Let them be kept. Provided for. Protected. Okay? So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. All right, keep your eyes open, remain occupied in prophecy, measure the times diligently, and pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that he has mercy on you, and that, Lord willing, we make it to the end and we get delivered from these trying and tribulous times. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.